Hi, I'm John Palmentary, and we have yet another candidate interview for the Santa Barbara City Council. This is for District Number 2, and with me is Mike Jordan, who is the seated City Council member, the incumbent in this election. We're going to ask him 4 questions, the same with his opponent. We're asking them to keep their answers about 60 to 90 seconds so we have some balance, and the length of both of the interviews is about the same so that we have as much fairness as possible. So let's begin with Mike Jordan, who's sitting on the City Council. Hi, Mike. What specifically are the concerns in your districts, and what are some of your plans, both immediately and long-term, that you can address?
So, district-specific, John, I would say what tops the list for me right now is the management of short-term vacation rentals. We've got a terrible problem in the coastal zone. They're displacing what is traditionally either step-up or first-time homeowners that would have availability to housing in the district. And to top that off, about 90% of the 600 or 700 that are down there are not even permitted nor paying TOT tax. Right behind that is probably just high fire hazard work with the community. We have 2 coastal high fire hazard zones down there, mainly running down Las Positas and then up into the hillsides coming back across parallel to the ocean. And I'm working with the fire department and the community to set a high fire hazard district down there, similar to what's up in the San Roque Hills, to remedy that problem. And probably third on the list would be just continued improvement in transportation improvements. Like you see on Las Positas Drive, it will turn around the corner and come up onto Cliff, where we'll have a whole bunch of new stop signs, stop lights, and separated bike lanes.
Okay. Well, earlier this year at the City Council meetings, we learned that the city deficit was roughly around $7 million, maybe a little bit more if you look at some other departments. So, Mike, how did the city get in this situation, and how does the city get out of this situation?
The easy answer for how we got here is just to look around you and realize that we live in a full service city. Unlike many other cities, we have our own law enforcement, our own fire department, our own water treatment plants, our own freshwater plant, our own libraries, just everything we have. Our parks, we have many, many, many more parks per capita than many other cities. And so I think the choice that's coming up in 2 or 3 weeks on the ballot actually is for voters to decide if they want to continue to help fund a full service city. And that will be an easy answer. It'll be a yes or no answer on November 5th. And if to get out of it, I think that's one avenue. To get out of it also is to begin to ask the question to the community on what does the next generation of the city looks like in terms of full service or less service, and begin to shrink those expenses down.
Okay, we're in a situation where a lot of people are frustrated over housing costs, inflation, and just life in general. There's a lot of weight they carry. We hear about it. What is the message of hope you give to your voters, your residents, your constituents?
This too shall pass. I'm sure that's been used before, right? But right now I'm really interested in people who are struggling to at least start the day with looking around you and realizing where you live, the type of community we are in, the resources that both the community and small government brings to people in need, and that there is if you just quit gazing down at your feet and maybe raise your gaze up a little and look at the horizon, there is a tomorrow coming that's really exciting, really ready to go. I could talk more than 90 seconds on where we are downtown, where we are in the peripheral neighborhoods, and what great things are just lying ahead of us. And I think it's just, don't lose hope right now. This too shall pass, and make sure you play a role in what that will be in the future.
And finally, we thought it'd be important to get your style out there one more time. What do you bring to the council that makes for a consensus and gets more agreement at a time when sometimes it's hard to get a majority?
I think you used the word before, it's rare to get a majority. And I think this is a council that gets along pretty well. As a majority, at least. And I think in regards to me, I think I'm uniquely suited amongst my peers with the experience that I have on other boards and commissions, on other boards in the community. I think I tend to do work more than talk about doing work, and I think people appreciate when you bring in a perspective to the discussion or the argument, that there's actually work behind that discussion or argument that helps people come along and participate in the answer.
All right, this is Mike Jordan, and this entire interview and all of our candidate interviews unedited are on our website, along with our news coverage of this particular district, District number 2 in Santa Barbara. And we encourage you to look at all of them before you vote on November 5th, and we'll see you on election night with all the results and coverage. I'm John Palmentary with Mike Jordan, and thank you for joining us.